Welcome back. After a 3-week break, the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial resuming with the state leading evidence on the recovery of cell phones from 2 of the accused on 2 separate occasions. The cell phones were found while the accused were in custody in 2020 and in 2021. A reminder, 5 people are on trial for the murder of the football star in October 2014. Our reporter Linda Mnisi monitoring the trial. He joins me now in studio. All right, Linda, 3-week holiday for the court, things back in session, and now everyone talking about 2 cell phones that were recovered. Why are they important?
Well, they're important, Stephen, because they form part of the state's cell phone evidence that it wants to lead in court. And obviously, they will start with chain evidence in terms of where the cell phones were recovered and who they were handed to, that sort of process of them getting to a point where they're downloaded and they're analyzed. So essentially today we heard from the head of the Kalagabusha prison in Mbangeni, as well as one of the investigators in this case, Warrant Officer Vusumuzi Mokhane. So essentially what Warrant Officer Vusumuzi Mokhane told the court was that when they were doing investigations in Mbangeni, they received a call to come and collect a cell phone because it had been discovered from one of the accused, that is accused number 5, Fisoguhle Ntuli. And essentially what he says is that they had been there. In fact, they'd gone there to do investigations, and they got to the prison. They were handed over this device. They put it in an exhibit bag, and then they left with it on that very same day. The state then called the head of the prison to kind of give evidence in terms of how it was recovered and at what point was it recovered. And he says, well, earlier that day, when the investigators were at the, after in fact they had left the prison after their investigations, he then received a tip-off from someone telling him that at this particular cell, this person has a phone. And that's when he went to that particular person, that was accused number 5, recovered the phone. In a different incident, in February 2021, they recovered a cell phone from accused number 2, Bongani Ntanzi, at a Pretoria police station. But essentially the accused is saying, accused number 5 is telling the court that, well, the cell phone was recovered, not at that time, not from me, but from my cellmate's bed. The other accused says, well, that particular phone was never recovered. I never had a phone at a police station. So essentially that is the evidence that has been presented so far in as far as these cell phones are concerned.
Do we know what might be on these cell phones? I mean, cell phone evidence has been very important in this case already.
Interesting, because this is the start of the coming evidence, I presume, because after this we've seen before the state bringing cell phones, how they were recovered and what was recovered, and then bring the analysts, the people who downloaded the contents of the cell phones, them getting into what was found inside the cell phone, and which is important to this case to support why the state says these are the guys that actually were involved in the planning and the killing of Senzo Meyiwa.
Mnisi, thank you very much indeed. Do appreciate it. Our reporter back in the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial for you.